Fiona from Sunnyside Art House here. Today I'm going to show you how to make your own bath bombs. So I have here some bicarb soda, some citric acid, some Epsom salts, some water with purple food dye in it, and a little container of coconut oil and lavender oil combined together. I also have a mixing bowl and a ice cube tray, which I'm going to use as a mold for my bath bomb. So if you have any ice cube tray at home, the flexible silicone ones work better than the hard ones. Any shape, I often use heart ones, but today I'm just going to use a square one. These are actually purchased from Kmart. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to mix our bicarb soda, citric acid and Epsom salt from our bags in the bowl. These have been pre-measured for you. I'm using some from one of my kits, but if you're doing it at home, you use 1 cup of bicarb soda, half a cup of citric acid and half a cup of Epsom salts. All these products can be bought from the supermarket. So we're just going to give that a little bit of a stir around with our fingers. And then we're going to mix in our coconut oil and lavender oil. So the coconut oil and lavender oil, again, I've pre-mixed in a little container for you in my kits, but if you're doing it at home, it is 1 tablespoon of liquid coconut oil. So it's much easier to use the coconut oil in the liquid form. But if you've got the solid one, you can just put it in the microwave for a few minutes to make it liquidy. So we're now going to start adding our purple coloured water. I've put this in a spray bottle. It's very handy to have it in a spray bottle because you can add it very slowly. If you don't have a little spray bottle like this, you might just want to use one of those bigger ones that you use to water your plants, or anything you can find at home that sprays. So maybe reuse some sort of hair product or deodorant bottles or something like that. So we're adding just a couple of sprays at the time. Now the hint with making your own bath bombs is it's very important not to add too much water or it will start reacting and fizzing, just like it does in the bath. As you know, when you add a bath bomb to the bath, it all fizzes and fizzes. So we don't want that to happen when we're making them. We're trying to add just enough water so that it clumps together and actually produces a solid mass, but it doesn't actually have all the reaction happening. So we do just a couple of sprays at a time and then we mix it with our fingers and we keep scrunching it with our hands to see if it's actually starting to clump together. So continuously adding a few sprays at a time and clumping it together with our fingers to see if it actually has started to come together. So this one you can see it's starting to come together. It probably needs a little bit more. Unfortunately, you will get quite nice pastel colours with this because you can't add too much colour, or as I said, it will react too much. So the colour that you get is very dependent on just how much water you're going to add so that it's the right consistency. So we add just a tiny bit more to that one. Just making sure we're mixing from right at the bottom of the bowl. And once it's all mixed up, and we do another really squeeze hard in your hand to see that if it's sort of sticking together, we then start to push it into our mold. So we're pushing it in with our fingers so that it is really nice and dense, like what we're doing with our hands before when we were clumping it with our hands to stick it together. We're doing that in the mold. We're going to push it in really, really hard so that it stays in really solidly. So this amount, as you can see, makes pretty much 6 bath bombs, and these ones are quite large. If you have any leftover after you've made it, you can just use that and throw it in the bath that night. Have a bit of a test yourself. These are a great present for Mum for Mother's Day. So kids, if you're making this, it's a really good idea to do it for Mum. And then what you might want to do is when they're ready, you can put them in a little bit of cellophane with a bow around it. So once we've got all our mixture in, we're going to really push it down hard with our thumb to make sure that it is really, really solidly in there. Now it takes about 24 hours for this to dry really solid. So what I suggest you do is you now go put it in a spot just out of the way. Leave it for around 24 hours. Just at this time of year, it's quite cold. Maybe try and put it somewhere where it's quite warm. And in 24 hours, all you need to do is just push those out of your mold and it's all done. And then just, obviously with the bath bombs, the directions are just pop one in the bath and enjoy. Thanks very much. We'll see you next week. Bye.